There's a truth that sounds harsh at first, but once it really clicks, it can change your life. No one is coming to save you. And I don't mean that in some depressing, hopeless way. I mean it in the most freeing way possible. Because a lot of us, without even realizing it, are waiting. We're waiting for the right mood. We're waiting for the right motivation. Waiting for life to calm down. Waiting to feel more confident. Waiting for someone to notice we're struggling. Waiting for some magical shift that one day we just wake up and suddenly become the person we know we're supposed to be. And meanwhile, the day keeps moving. Time keeps moving. Life keeps moving. That's the part people don't really sit with enough. You can have a bad day. You can be disappointed in yourself. You can be in a rut. You can be sitting there feeling off, low energy, not like yourself, frustrated that things aren't going your way. But while all that is happening, time is still passing. And that's what I mean when I say no one is coming to save you. There's no magical person that's going to show up and fix your mindset. There's no magical moment that's going to come into your room and pull you out of your bed. There's no switch that someone else is going to flip for you. There's no person that's going to walk into your life and say, hey, let's sit down and fix everything that's been weighing on you. For most people, that does not happen. That's why people pay for therapists. That's why people pay for coaching. That's why people seek guidance. Because left on your own, if you don't learn how to manage your own mind, your own habits, and your own energy, life will just keep going without waiting for you to catch up. And that sounds brutal, but there's a silver lining in that. If no one is coming to save you, then that means the power is in your hands. Because if it's up to you, then it's still possible. And that's the part I think people miss. They hear, no one is coming to save you, and they hear it like it's bad news. I hear it as full responsibility. I hear it as freedom. I hear it as, okay, then let me stop waiting. Let me stop sitting in this mood like it's permanent. Let me stop speaking negatively to myself like that's helping. Let me stop acting like I have no say over how I carry myself today. Because the truth is, a lot of the time, we stay in moods way longer than we need to. Not because we're broken, not because life is impossible, but because we let our mind run wild and we follow it everywhere it wants to go. And human beings are wired for that more than people realize. There's an actual psychological tendency called negativity bias, where negative information tends to hit us harder and pull our attention more than positive information does. In other words, your brain is naturally quicker to lock onto what's wrong, what's missing, what could go bad, and why you might not be good enough. So if you wake up already disappointed in yourself, already behind, already frustrated, your mind will gladly build a whole case against you. See, you're wasting time again. See, you're not disciplined. See, you said you were going to change and you didn't. See, you're still not where you want to be. And if you don't catch that voice early, it starts shaping your entire day. Your energy gets lower, your conversations get flatter, you stop feeling like yourself, you carry yourself heavier, and now one bad thought turned into a bad mood, and a bad mood turned into a wasted day. That's self-sabotage. And the scary part is, it feels normal while you're doing it. That's why this idea matters so much, because the moment you realize no one is coming to save you, you realize it's something else. I cannot afford to sit in this all day. I cannot afford to let one mood hijack my whole life. I cannot afford to let negative self-talk steal my time. I cannot afford to keep handing my days over to thoughts that don't even deserve that much power. That doesn't mean you become emotionless. That doesn't mean you pretend everything's okay. That doesn't mean you never have bad moments. It means you stop worshiping every bad thought that walks into your head. You notice it, you call it what it is, and you do not let it drive the car. That's a huge difference, because a lot of people think the answer is just stop being negative. That's not realistic. A better answer is notice when your mind is doing what human minds do. Notice when the negativity bias kicks in. Notice when you start looking for reasons to feel behind. Notice when you start focusing on what you can't control. Notice when one disappointment starts becoming your whole identity for the day. That awareness matters. There's a reason so many people say that action changes your state faster than waiting for motivation does. Andrew Huberman work on motivation points to a two-way relationship. Dopamine can increase motivation, but actively pursuing a goal can also increase dopamine. In plain English, movement helps create momentum. Action can help shift the state you're in. That is massive, because a lot of people think, I need to feel better first, then I'll act. A lot of times it's the opposite. You act first, then your mind starts catching up. You get out of bed first. You go for the walk first. You stop doom scrolling first. You post the content first. You start the workout first. You send the message first. You sit at the piano first. You put yourself out there first. And then, little by little, your mind starts to shift. That's why self responsibility is so important, because there are things in your life that are in your control. Not everything, but enough. You may not control the whole world. You may not control how people respond to you. You may not control every setback. You may not control every emotion that appears, but you can control what time you wake up. You can control whether you spend 2 hours doom scrolling. You can control whether you keep pushing off the work you know matters. You can control whether you approach life with avoidance or participation. You can control whether you keep feeding the thoughts that are dragging you down. And that's what you need to put your energy into. Because us as human beings do this all the time. We obsess over what we can't control and then neglect what we actually can. We want to control outcomes. We want to control timing. We want to control other people. We want to control how life unfolds. But the controllables, the habits, the daily actions, the simple things that actually build a better life, those are the things that people avoid. That is backwards. If something is in your control and it moves your life forward, that is not a burden. That is a privilege. That is your opportunity. You wanting to wake up earlier? That's in your control. You wanting to stop doom scrolling? That's in your control. You wanting to be more consistent on social media or YouTube? That's in your control. You wanting to be more social? That's in your control. You wanting better habits, more structure, and more discipline? That's in your control. So embrace that. Don't run from it. Don't act like responsibility is the ugly thing. Responsibility is how you build yourself. And I think people need to hear this too. Life is too short to stay strapped in your own head all the time. Seriously, life is too short to be constantly beating yourself up. Life is too short to spend your best years in a negative mind state. Life is too short to keep postponing the version of yourself you know you could become. And perspectives helps with that. People spend so much time looking at people with more money, more status, more success, more everything. But think about this. There are people in this world with more money that they could ever spend, and they would give up a massive amount to have youth again. They would give up a massive amount to feel physically fresh again. They would give up a massive amount to have more time again. If you're in your 20s, 30s, and even 40s, you have something that some of the richest people on earth cannot buy back. More life ahead of you, more time, more runway, more possibility. That matters. And if you really understand that, then staying down on yourself for too long starts looking expensive. Not emotionally expensive, life expensive. Because every day you spend trapped in your own head is a day you do not get back. Every hour spent feeding fear, sadness, hesitation, or self-hatred is an hour taken from your actual life. And I'm not saying that to make you feel pressure. I'm saying it because I think a lot of people need to wake up. You do not need somebody to come rescue you. You need to remember that your life is still in your hands. You need to remember who you are when you're not drowning in overthinking. You need to remember who you are when you're actually present, light, smiling, moving, talking, taking action. You need to remember that the version of you that feels alive is not gone. It's usually just buried under too much mental noise. So when I say no one is coming to save you, I'm not trying to be cold. I'm saying stop waiting. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel fully ready. Stop waiting for somebody to pull you out of your own mind. Stop waiting for life to hand you momentum. Create it. Pull yourself out. Catch the thought. Shift the state. Take responsibility. Control the controllables. Protect your time. Move your body. Change your environment. Do the thing you keep saying you want to do. Because at the end of the day, nobody can live your life for you. But that's not tragic. That's powerful. Because it means your pen is still in your hand. And maybe that's the whole point. No one is coming to save you. So save your day, save your energy, save your time, save yourself from becoming the kind of person who keeps waiting forever, and start becoming the person who moves.